Neighborhood best.
Whoa.
Neighborhood best.
I got the shit eyes. I got the shit eyes.
Hey, how's it going, guys? How you guys been? Good to see you.
You're good. How's it going?
Good.
Well, there's danger, actually. Danger watch. That's what's going on.
Danger watch.
Right? Natural catastrophes hitting
yeah.
the world. Hearts go out to everyone out there with dealing with all this stuff. Hurricanes is particularly what's going on during this feed. There may be other things happening for the listener right now, but at the same time, natural catastrophes, right? Wild.
Yeah, so we're going to talk extreme weather today in light of what's going on right now. We all had one hurricane go through already. Hit North Carolina pretty hard. I'm hearing some straight up horror stories, online and stuff. You see all the politics and all the stuff here and there, but like it just sounds like a bomb hit or something. That's pretty much the way they're describing it. Right now, as we speak, there's Hurricane Milton. It's hitting Florida. And that one was like the biggest one on record, like as it was in the Gulf, and it made its way. I think it hit landfall like about a half hour ago. My sister said. My sister's in Florida.
Well, I think it landed first in Sarasota. And again, you're right. This just happened just a little while ago. But it landed in Sarasota, and I think it made its way to Tampa. And I think it's hit a couple categories 5 slightly, and then went back to category 3 right now. But it's gonna ramp back up. But I'm hearing like 15 feet of flooding in some areas that they may be getting.
Yeah,
crazy shit like that. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? I can't even imagine that, man.
No, that's scary shit. Like the worst way of dying to me is drowning. And like somebody made this joke the other day, and it's gonna sound crude, but wouldn't it be sucked if you're getting raped and drowned at the same time?
Well, I mean, getting raped, anything, that's always a little bit worse, or on fire and raped, or
that's a bad one too.
Yeah, or getting eaten by ants and raped.
Yeah, I think the drowning scares me a bit more for some reason.
I've almost drowned before.
Well, there you go. Because I've been always like I guess a good swimmer, but I've never.
I'm a great swimmer, dude. I'm a really, really great swimmer, and that was my problem. Is like
you got caught.
I was too confident. Right, exactly. I was too confident, and I was showing my friends Sequoia for the first time, and I was like, yeah, let me show you guys this cool little area. I jump off this waterfall. It's so cool, blah, blah, blah. And I remember before I left, I stopped in Bakersfield because my mom was living there at the time. And I was like, hey, Mom, blah, blah, blah. We're going there. And she's like, be careful. I'm like, oh, don't worry. I'm a good swimmer. She goes, no, I know. That's what scares me. Like, be careful. And then, so I'm showing my friends. I jump off this waterfall that I always jump off of. And that year, the water was just a little bit stronger. And it sucked me under, dude. And then I went through all the stages. It says like you go through these different stages of like, you like finally accept it. And then like you have one last fight. And that's what saved me was that last fight.
Wow. Yeah.
But this is that water level, that new technology they're showing, I guess.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, that's crazy.
But even at that level, the water's rushing like that, you're still moving, man.
Oh like, yeah, just how strong it is.
Yeah, it's like, and then just going like, oh shit, now I have to put my feet are not touching the ground anymore. You're
Jesus, that's terrifying looking at this.
Yeah, now, right? Yeah, it definitely, conveys the seriousness of flooding with floods.
Yeah, so they're like, we're expecting this much though.
But guys, crocodiles, that's the main thing to me. Like 3 feet is bad enough. Like crocodiles in Florida, they're going to be swimming in the water everywhere. And so you're getting your legs nibbled on. And you're like, oh, man.
Crocodiles, you might get some sharks floating back into there.
Yeah, I totally never thought of that.
There's like an elephant right there. Like, what is that? Oh, it's a tree.
There's like monsters there,
right?
And people. It's horrible. I hope everyone got out, in time. And my sister's out there, but she's not like near the sea or anything like that. But they're expecting heavy winds, and they're kind of at the point where they're used to it almost, where it's like, oh yeah, when we get these hurricanes, we get like this. We have enough food and enough water for this much, and it's
it gets a little weird like that. Like even out here in Texas, like I'm so used to like tornadoes kind of sweeping in and they're just out.
That's what's happening right now. Is there's a couple tornadoes over there.
Yeah, but like I literally have built on the side of my house a tornado alarm that's built by the city. It's like every few houses down. It's kind of staggered throughout, so you hear it go off throughout the neighborhood. Yeah,
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen, right? That's why it's there.
Well,
it's going to happen at some point.
It's there, and then even on our phones, we get like Amber Alerts, but it'll tell you about tornadoes. The other thing too, like the winter storm. After the first year going through it, and now it's my 4th year being here. And now it's just like you just kind of prepare for it. You just prepare not to leave the house for 4 days, and you prepare to just not to have power for about 4 days. Like you just deal with it.
This is why they call it natural disasters,
cool,
right?
Yeah. I don't like extreme weather. Like I kind of like to a certain point, you know. Obviously, I haven't seen like the videos I've seen in Georgia. There was like a wave of water just coming through the forest out of nowhere, and the guy's like, "It's gone, dude. It's gone. My car's gone. Everything's gone." And the lady's like, "Hey, just it's okay. Calm down. It's okay. You're alive. So just that's all that matters."
In a weird way, it takes off the stress of everyday life. Like
kind of.
You do kind of like because you're not concerned about like, oh, I better not be late for work tomorrow, or I better not be like you're not thinking about that type of stuff. You're not thinking about being late on something. Yeah, it's like, okay, I need to make sure I stay warm tonight. I need to make sure we have enough food. I need to make sure we have enough water. You know, and then when you have no communication like kind of with anybody else, you're just sitting there and you just appreciate kind of like being.
Yeah, because when that hunger takes a hold, man.
Oh, I know. Yeah, when you're hungry and cold, socks are wet. You know what to do.
Oh yeah.
You know where you're gonna sleep. I remember one time Vince and I when we were roommates. We didn't pay the DWP bill on time, and we had to sleep a couple nights in candlelight.
Yeah,
I lived like that for like 2 years, dude. Like when I was like younger, like we didn't have water and power. And then the gas got turned off, and I was just like, oh shit! Like I didn't like realize that like what was going on at the time, that we were just broke and stuff. But I learned how to cook because of it. And then what we would do is like we get like water and put it in Sparkletch jugs and like put it in the sun to heat up, so we could take like a warm bath at night. And then my dad would put like rocks in the fireplace, and then we get them and like would put like pour water on it, kind of like a sauna kind of thing to heat up.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it was kind of like
give me some hot stones.
Yeah,
I
remember that. I remember that.
Put the hot stones in. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah, it was kind of fun, but at the same time, it was like fuck. Like every day's like this, and it was like hiding it from school, and like it was embarrassing too. At the same time, there was a lot of weird shit like that when I was like a kid. But like so, the experience is like I learned how to cook because of it, and then I learned how to survive. Figure out how to like make things work. It's like, hey, we gotta like cook. We still gotta eat tonight. We still gotta do this tonight. We still gotta do that tonight. So it's like, all right, people still need to take showers. Yeah. So
right,
being
resourceful. Well, okay, all right. So what about this though? Guys? A tornado, a hurricane, or an earthquake? Like you knew you were gonna experience them. Like which ones? Because it seems like Florida is like this is the worst Florida's experience. So there's going to be people probably moving from Florida. Like, nope, not doing that again.
I thought you were going to say they all walk into a bar. They order a drink. Which one would get what drink?
Oh, and then the bartender says, "Get the fuck out."
Get it.
Get the fuck out.
I mean, I remember the '94 earthquake. I've never really dealt with a tornado, or we almost had a hurricane once here, but I mean, kind of.
Well, they're all like crazy, right? Because
they're all.
It's the extreme of each one.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean. Like,
would you rather die crushed? Right? By like whatever on top of you.
Yeah. It's like I'll
and then dropped, and then drop. You want to splat, right?
Or do you want to get drowned? Do you want to get crushed, or you want to get like fucking whisked away by a fucking tornado? I don't know.
It's like the hand of God being like,
I almost want to. I wouldn't mind being crushed like a bug. Quick
biblical stuff. Imagine being like in the old days, like just all of a sudden this wall of water comes. Like, what do we do to anger God? And it's like you know,
Oh
like,
yeah, like it's a punishment. It's a
yeah,
curse from
people wouldn't
the
know like why
heavens.
a tornado would happen. You pissed off the heavens. You know, you did something
Yeah.
wrong. It's like,
Well,
That's
it's like
hiding.
it's like the dinosaurs. And that show Preacher, there's a segment on it where it shows the dinosaurs. It's all claymation, and it shows God. He just wants to reset the planet. He's like, all right, I don't like what they're doing here, and he just destroys them. And he just makes people.
Yeah.
And
I
then
like
it gets later on. Then it gets later on in the series where he's like, all right, now people are annoying me. I just want to get rid of them and start the next race.
I always had I like that. I had this thought of like what if dinosaurs were really smart and they had their best scientists on it too, and they were trying to stop the asteroid, but they just didn't get it in time, and they wanted to dispatch the message, so they put it in a small little mammal that they had. Like you're our best bet. Go, friend, go. And now here we are.
There was that show Dinosaur, remember? There was that show. It was on when we were kids. It's called Dinosaurs, and they're these giant like dinosaur costumes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Don't hit the baby.
Yeah, not the mama.
That one. Yeah, that one.
At the end of it, they die because of global warming, and then like everything starts freezing, and they're all in the house, and like that's the way. Wow. That's the way it ends. It's like, we didn't listen, pretty much. It's like,
yeah. At least they got to end the show, though, right? Because some of those shows don't get an ending.
Yeah, that was a good show. I watched it all the time when I was younger.
It was a good one.
Don't hit the baby. Right? And I would say that. Don't hit the baby.
Or it
don't
said
hit
not the mama.
Yeah, not the mama was the thing.
It didn't say don't hit the baby.
No, that's
it may have said it.
Don't kick the baby.
Don't kick the. Oh yeah, that is South Park.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. You got it. You got me. Thanks for the clarification.
There you go.
I was gonna walk away today telling everyone, and now I won't.
Know your cartoons. No, but seriously, we do hope that the people over there in Florida, you guys made it out, and hopefully you get the help that you guys need, in these times going, because I know there's gonna be like a lot of this is like the biggest one on record while it was in the Gulf. They made it like there was like, hey, this is like a category 6. There's like 180-mile winds, and they're like, this is crazy, and it's like we don't know what's going on, and then by the time it hit, it like, thank God died down, but our thoughts and prayers are out there for you with you guys.
Like when you see the size of it, like how big it is, right?
That NASA footage, did you see that?
Yeah.
The ISS went over it.
If you take that, that's almost like so you just imagine you're just driving for miles and it's just a hurricane just for that long. You're like, whoa, that's crazy.
I just looked online right now. Like I had a buddy that just posted right now. He's a bit controversial, but he showed a picture of like Florida where the storm's coming in through, and then what it would look like if crane was placed over it.
Oh wow! Is it what? Here's that's from space. Pretty big.
Like one dude who's trying to ride it out in a boat over there. Some crazy guy.
Wow.
They're eventually gonna have to.
They're calling him Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah. You saw him?
Oh wow.
What's the craziest weather you've experienced? Like I remember you were at a bar one time, David, and like a tornado came, right?
Oh yeah, so that was pretty wild.
Was he a professional wrestler named Tornado?
Yeah,
tassels on it.
He just body slammed me into the bathroom. No, me and my buddy Charlie, we knew the tornado was coming, and we were sitting outside there, and he's born and raised Texan out here. And we were looking outside the bar, and I seen it kind of like it looked like it was swirling down. Like you started seeing it, and we're like, "Oh shit! Like this is fucking crazy." And he goes, "Man," he goes, "Pretty sure that's a tornado coming down." I go, "Is that what it looks like?" He goes, "I've never actually seen it before." He goes, "But if I had to guess, that's a tornado coming down."
Yeah.
Like, but as far as the actual weather that I've actually ever hit, the winter storm out here was crazy, but we were sheltered and we had everything that we needed. When I was living in Lancaster when I was younger, there was some crazy ass weather that came in, and I was living in a little tiny duplex. The windows were shaking like they were just going to burst out, like everything was going crazy. It ripped the shingles off our roof. When I was driving down the street after, I could see like a billboard, like the iron beams bent over like this. It looked like the Hulk just grabbed it and pulled it down. Trees knocked over, and this is just in Lancaster. They said it was a mini tornado that touched down there. Then that's in California. So
that's scary.
That was probably the
When you
scariest
just,
because
you
how
touch down
small a
everyone.
place I was in. Yeah.
It's
What
all
about
right.
you,
That's
James?
It's not on thing now.
James, you experienced any wild, crazy weather in your
I
travels?
scored a touchdown once. It was
No,
pretty cool.
wasn't there some weather that came, some flooding that came through San Diego?
There was never a hurricane in San Diego. There was just a lot of rain.
Oh
I've been
yeah,
through an
but it was
earthquake.
some
I've been through a
flooding, right?
hurricane.
Oh.
I've been through a hurricane once. So I've been close in like a week. Like a week later, I moved somewhere and there was a tornado there before. That happened once. Tornadoes terrify me though. That's the scariest thing. You need some board. You got to board up, right? You got to board your windows. You got to get some sandbags. If you're staying, I mean, you should evacuate, of course.
But I also want to give a shout out to like Mexico because they also had a hurricane out there too.
Yeah, Cancun got hit.
Wow. Hearts.
Yeah. It's going all over the place. But
Was it that bad though?
Corazon.
Because I didn't hear anything about it on the news.
Yeah, I didn't hear nothing.
Of course it did. It went to the Gulf. Of course it did. It's just hitting Florida now. So that means that all the islands probably got rocked too. Maybe Puerto Rico's probably getting slammed. Cuba's probably getting slammed. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't hear about like, hey, how are the people in Cuba preparing for this? You know what I mean? It's usually like, hey, good luck.
Yeah. America first.
On that note, America. All right.
Neighborhood best.
Take care out there. Stay safe.
All right.
Bye.
Stay safe.
So what did we talk about?
Gotcha. Shit.
Now I'm going to be in my office.